I believe the price of Bitcoin will be substantially higher because it solves a real problem real people have, which is that their US dollars that they own are like melting ice cubes. They are losing between 4% and 9% of their value every year. That is not what money is supposed to do. Money is supposed to preserve its value so that your time and energy buys you more in the future than it does now. That's what money is supposed to do. You may be thinking that doesn't apply to you because you are storing your wealth in other places, like your house or stocks or bonds or real estate or something like that. But each of those has a serious problem, which is that more of them can be made. Every company that has stock can issue more of its own stock out of thin air and sell it to the marketplace. Every company or country that issues debt can issue more bonds. Real estate, anybody can build more real estate. And the stock market, of course, represents all of those stocks and bonds and all of the other things you can trade. So the prices of a lot of those assets are very high right now, but I don't believe that's sustainable. When you buy a stock or a bond or real estate, what you're paying for is the future value of that thing today. But if a company gets 1% better at making stuff every year, but the stock price goes up 5% every year, then at some point you've got 4% of the stock price every single year compounded on itself that represents value that's not really there. What will eventually happen in each of those cases is each of those things will return eventually to its underlying fundamental value when all of those assets get repriced back down to what they're actually worth. And that happens in a recession. And we have not had a big recession in the United States since 2008 and 2009, which has led a lot of people to believe, since it's been so long, that we just don't have recessions anymore. And of course, that is the kind of thinking that typically happens right before a massive recession. Now, I don't know when a massive recession is happening. At some point, the stock market and real estate and everything will go through an epic crash, and then everything will sort of return to its underlying value, and everybody will be standing there scratching their head thinking, wait, I spent all that time and energy putting my wealth and savings into stocks or bonds or real estate, and now they crashed, and what am I supposed to do now? The reason I have zero allocation to stocks and bonds and real estate that I could invest in right now is massively overvalued. And there's nothing when I look around that I want to invest in. And I'm not alone. For example, Warren Buffett has a record more than $350 billion of cash that he's sitting on right now. He has consistently been selling off assets in his portfolio and just stockpiling cash. The vast majority of things that he could invest in, he has decided are overvalued, and he does not want to invest in them.